Hey guys, this is Vonnie. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys, and happy Friday. I wanted to make a video about being homeless or moving around a lot and in child custody, how it can affect you in child custody. So thank you guys again for tuning in. And before I get started, guys, if you are dealing with child custody and co-parenting, it's one of the hardest things that you'll ever have to do in your life, guys. I always say that it's a very, very, very tough, tough situations because of your kids are involved. So you always have to make logical decisions. And I'm putting myself in the mindset of a judge today, which is very hard for me to do because, I'm biased, guys. As a parent, I am biased, but I'm putting my mindset of a judge today, so that's the perspective I'm going to be coming from, and I'm going to share some information with y'all, and I think this can help y'all. So again, if you want to get some tips about child custody, you can check out some of my other videos. I just put it in a playlist about child custody. It may give you some ideas or some motivation, or maybe you'll be able to just pick up on one thing that I said and it may pertain to your situation. And always continue to do your research, please, y'all. It's so much to learn. It's so much. You can never ever stop learning, especially when it comes to legal situations, and not just child custody. I'm talking about child support, domestic violence, lawsuits. You have tons and tons of research throughout the years to do, guys, because things change sometimes too throughout the years. So I'm going to talk about homelessness, and again, this was a deciding factor in my case. The last time I went to court, every time you go to court for a custody modification, they want to see where both parents are at. Anything can be modified with child custody. Even if you got, custody next year, the other party can get custody. So, it's not like a permanent decision in most cases. So, because a lot of us have to share, 50-50 joint custody. And even the ones that, have sole custody, sometimes the narcissist can get more rights back throughout the years, to my knowledge. So, going into the courtroom, first thing the judge said, ma'am, how many addresses have you changed for the last 10 years? And I'm like, 10 years? Like, that's a long time. 10 years, that's a long time. And I'm thinking, why in the world? I mean, she was kind of rude and, just straightforward. So it's just so, sometimes when you go to court, it can be such a hostile environment, and judges do, they can be moody also. So I guess they get so tired of parents coming in there fighting, but yet that's their job every day. So her thing was like, how long? And she asked, the other party the same thing. How long you been, for the last 10 years, how many addresses have you changed? And I just thought that question was kind of, I was like, wow, it just kind of threw me off. And I, honestly, most people have moved a few times throughout 10 years, especially if you we're younger parents starting off. So, I mean, and just starting off your life and not even in, wasn't even in your career at the beginning. So 10 years is a big, big gap. So, that was just, it just threw me off. So anyways, the narcissist, I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to say, I'm going to try to take narcissists out of this time, because I don't want to make y'all feel like I am bashing this individual. I want to be more level headed when I'm speaking. But you guys know what I mean, because it's very hard. The co-parenting thing is very, very hard, guys. You'll go through a lot throughout the years, and it'll change you in ways that you never thought. You'll learn a lot, and you'll just go through a lot. But I will say the non-custodial parent, if y'all like that better. So the non-custodial parent was actually been deceptive in court. They do that a lot. So the non-custodial parent has been deceptive, saying that they were in the midst of moving from where they were at right now. And it was just the way it was coming off. You could tell the non-custodial parent was lying. I had to question them during cross-examination, and it was just, I think the judge kind of felt like something was just wrong. Sometimes they can sense things. sometimes they catch it. So the judge just caught that one thing, but she didn't catch other things. But she caught that was the non-custodial parent was unstable. So basically, the non-custodial parent, the movie, he wanted the current order based off of somewhere where he's about to move, and she was just like, no. So he definitely wanted me to meet him somewhere that he wasn't even permanently there yet. So it just didn't even make sense. So it was based off of my address, and I've been at my, address longer than he has. So to my knowledge, the non-custodial parent does move around a lot because, when you out here doing in society, doing things, not really being well, taking good care of yourself, and trying to use people all the time, it's going to reflect in your life, being unstable, not really keeping a roof over your head, bouncing around from one household to another household, one relationship to another, one job to another. So it's just a cycle with toxic individuals. They're going to move around a lot, and the courts, to me, prefer a parent with a more permanent residence. I mean, because the funny thing is that the domestic violence didn't matter. Oh, that's just between them, right? The other criminal charges in the past didn't matter, but for some reason, you having a permanent resident, that holds more weight than a lot of other things. So I'm just like blown away now that I think about it, and I can, put my perspective in on it. It's just that they want to make sure the kids are like, because it's a school issue, they're going to the same school. I mean, that's part of their childhood. You want a kid to go to the same area for high school or for middle school or for elementary school, and just be in the same school instead of switching schools and things all the time, and addresses that can affect their, how they grow and how they're able to connect bonds and form friendships. So it's just pretty deep, guys. It's just pretty deep. They may have a friend from kindergarten all the way to the 5th grade, and then that would be healthy for them. So that might make them more emotionally healthier, able to connect with people in, adulthood. And, just their social life is very important for them to have good social skills. So the homelessness, well, it wasn't technically homelessness, but it just shows how unstable the toxic parent is by moving around a lot. And that non-custodial parent, that was the last thing on his mind. That was the last thing on my mind. So it's funny how you can go to court over and over again, and one little thing that you wouldn't think would be one of the biggest things that can help you with your case. So in my opinion, I would say parents, if you can, make sure you can, have stability in wherever your residence is. It doesn't have to be a house, but if it's an apartment, try to see if you can, not be like moving around so much, because I'm pretty sure that affects your kids' educations and different, school systems and different school districts and, just everything. I think the courts are really looking for that person who can just stay at the address for at least 4 or 5 years at a time, or really have a long time, a permanent residence. That just shows that you are more stable than the other person. So that does matter. And it's not to say that you won't go through hard times, because I know I'm not talking about anyone, that's staying with a family member, a sister or a best friend or a roommate or whatever. You have to do what you have to do. But I do also, I'm just putting this out there because that was a deciding factor, when I went to court for me. That's how I have custody, because I have a more permanent and stable residence than a non-custodial parent. So things that you think wouldn't matter, the smallest things would matter. Like I said, you would think that domestic violence would show that this person is very unstable. And then, yeah, you're going to be scared because you've seen how scary that person is, right? You're going to be scared for a kid to be around that individual. Especially if you known what they did to you. You were there. You witnessed their rage, their anger. But for some reason, the courts, the way the law is set up, they still have access to their children. And for charges, it's a difference between the charges that they'll take. It seems to me the only thing that they'll really be concerned about when it comes to criminal charges is serious felonies, the serious ones. that include, really harming somebody else. And, yeah, so everything else, all the other stuff, the domestic violence, all the reckless driving and instability with driving and removing your, not driving with a license and everything else, it's not as a big deal for them. They could just send this person to a class, a drug class for the drug issues, a parenting class if they feel like they need to be more responsible, right? But you want to be the primary parent, because you get more time with the kid, and it just, you're able to put your kid on a school bus every morning and get them off the bus. So, you can't control everything, but it's just the fact that being the custodial, the primary parent is really great. Not just for purposes of, financial reasons, because I know, we all, I know people are going to say, well, y'all get to file taxes and you get child support. That's not fair. But honestly, you get to put more structure into your kids' life and show them, the type of love and support that they need. And I'm not saying that anybody that's a non-custodial parent is a bad person. No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, being a custodial parent is, it's a blessing, also. So don't take things for granted with parenting, guys. Remember, the judges want you to be mature. They just want to see how you handle situations. It's a trial that I'm studying, that I'm looking at. It's real popular on YouTube. It's the McDonald trial. Type in McDonald child custody. It's based out of Nevada. And this guy is, he has a lot of issues, guys. He has a lot of issues. This father has a lot of issues. And it just goes to show you in court how everything can come out. For those of you that never been in court, are really at the beginning. You haven't really been much, and you're just trying to learn so much. I mean, they can do a trial and get all of this information about a person, and then end up only being one or two things matter. But this judge is really good. So, in this case, she's one of the best ones that I've seen, because she is taking into accountability that he has a mental disorder. She's looking at it, to my knowledge, as like bipolar. She didn't say narcissist, but she did say he's really manipulative, and she picked up on him. She's reading him really, really, really well. But it doesn't mean that your judge is going to be like this, guys. You have to understand your judges. Not everybody is on to everything. So it's just real important that we keep on getting this information out, guys. And I always ask you guys to keep on spreading awareness, because there's some people out here that need information like this, that are still in these custody, in really nasty custody battles, making bad decisions when they could have just made just a better decision. Everybody needs support. I still get support, guys. I still ask questions, online or whatever. So, yeah, guys, if you can, make sure you're stable, or, stay on your job through child custody, because homelessness and moving around a lot just shows instability, and they may give rights to the non-custodial parent because they feel like it's in the best interest of the child to be there, since they feel like they may have more stable residence. So let's talk about it, guys. I know y'all probably have some things to say about this, and I will see you guys later.